What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. Everything in this video is alleged. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. When most men are young and decide to get in our first real committed relationship, it's usually because we see a future with that person and want things to work. Free game for the ladies. If a man is in his early 20s, was running around, playing the field, but meets you and stops all that and wants to be exclusive and make you his girl, 9 times out of 10, you got him. He's in love. Feelings always start off strong, and sometimes out of those feelings and being intimate, a life is created. That's when things get real though, and the test really starts. 2 young people, now with a child to raise. Someone who depends on y'all for everything. Their future is literally in your hands as parents. For some, the baby can bring them closer. They realize they have to lock in and try to make things work for their child. But for others, the pressure becomes too much. The responsibility of being a new mother or father. That leaves the romantic part of the relationship lost in the sauce. And that fire can quickly fizzle out. Of course, if things don't work, both parties should be willing to co-parent, which is the adult thing to do. But this is where things get tricky. When your baby mother or baby father decides to move on into a new relationship, and if it serves, your child will eventually be around that person. But for some, they can't handle that. And when feelings are still involved, things can go left real fast. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it all the way back to 2014 to Irvington, New Jersey to discuss the case of a man whose baby mother moved on, but when she let another man around his child, he snapped. Back in 2014, 21-year-old Marquis Armstrong was navigating life in Jersey, living in Trenton. He was trying to stay out the way, out the streets, and duck the temptations of his environment. But Marquis had someone to keep him occupied, his girl, the love of his life, who we'll call Ashley for the sake of the story. Their relationship started out strong. Both young, they spent most of their time together, having fun and doing things around the city. Eventually, their love would turn to Ashley getting pregnant and the couple having a baby on the way. Things seemed to be on the up and up after the birth of their daughter. It seemed they even grew closer. But as time went on, the pressure of being new parents got to them. And when their baby girl was about 1 year old, for whatever reasons, Ashley decided to call the relationship off. Marquis was hurt, but respected her decision and knew she was solid enough not to keep his daughter away from him, and they could both co-parent. But what he didn't know, Ashley would soon have her eyes on someone else. Another young man, 23-year-old Rhasan Heath. Rhasan, just like Marquis, was trying to find his way in the world. He knew about Ashley's baby father, but it had been a few months since the two had broke up, and he felt she was over him and everything was cool. He was even willing to help her out with the baby. But just like Marquis, Rhasan didn't take into consideration Ashley still had an active baby father, and he would definitely be in the picture. The 2 men didn't really start off with no problems, just a little male ego. They would see each other around town and either mug a little bit or smirk at each other, but that was that. Until on September 2nd, 2014, Ashley took her daughter and went with her baby father to a family event. But allegedly, Rhasan wasn't feeling that. The fact his girl was riding back home with her baby father. Rhasan knew where they was going to be at and where they was coming from. He pulled up beside them at a red light, and the 2 men started going back and forth, making a few threats, while Ashley and their baby girl was in the car and saw everything. But eventually, both men laughed and drove off. That following day though, Rhasan was with Ashley, but not just her and Marquis' daughter as well. This rubbed Marquis the wrong way. He texted her like, yo, you saw your boyfriend was geeking yesterday. I don't want him around my daughter. She let her baby father know her new boyfriend wasn't going to put them in harm's way and that they was only going to his sister's house in Irvington. But Marquis told her, like, nah, if you take my daughter around him, it's going to get real. But Ashley ignored her baby father and headed with her new boyfriend to his sister's apartment, located in the 800 block of Grove Street in Irvington. As they were just all talking, laughing, having a good time, they turned into night, with Marquis still calling and texting Ashley. But now she was ignoring him. His last text was around about 11:37 p.m. when he said, yo, you playing with me, right? I'm about to go crazy. A little before midnight, Ashley and Rhasan walked outside of his sister's house to her car. She had baby girl with her, but her father, Marquis, popped out the cut. He fussed Ashley out like, yo, I told you, but he locked down on Rhasan. As the two men went back and forth, Marquis upped the gun and started shooting at Rhasan. He tried to run away and get out the jam, but he ran into the street and was hit by a car. As Rhasan fell, Marquis didn't stop there. He walked over, stood over top of the man, and started shooting before running away, fleeing the scene, with Ashley yelling out for help. Witnesses called local police, who responded to the scene to find Rhasan suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He was rushed to a local hospital, but unfortunately, he wouldn't survive his injuries. Ashley spoke to police and stated her baby father was jealous and didn't want their daughter around her new boyfriend. So knowing where she was at Rhasan's sister's house, he pulled up and ambushed them. A warrant was put out for Marquis, and it wouldn't take long before he was tracked down, taken into custody. At first, he didn't say much, but with the text from Ashley's phone and her statements and witnesses describing the suspect, that was enough for Marquis to be charged with first-degree hit. As the case started making its way to court 3 years later, in 2017, Marquis and his lawyer had a choice to make. Pick 12, go to trial, and hope it's not enough evidence for him to be found guilty, or enter a plea, admitting his guilt and cop out to what prosecutors were offering, a lesser charge of manslaughter. And Marquis chose the plea, admitting to chasing Rhasan down with a .45 caliber handgun and taking his life because he didn't want him around his daughter. For him admitting that, he received a sentence of 25 years in prison, in which he has to serve 85% of his time before being eligible for parole. Rest in peace to Rhasan. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. Marquis did what a lot of first-time fathers do, even myself when I was 17 and had my daughter. Try to convince our baby mothers not to have our child around no other man if the relationship doesn't work out. But as you get older, you understand that's not reality. She will move on, and you will probably too, and have other women around your child as well. Which some baby mothers, just like baby fathers, don't like. But maturing is meeting that other person, drawing lines, and making sure everybody is on the same page. Rhasan's situation is an example of why a lot of men, especially nowadays, choose not to date women with kids. They feel like it's just too much, having to worry about a jealous or controlling baby father. But I want to end up with some questions, fam. For my fellas and ladies, have you ever dated someone whose baby father or baby mother acted like this about their child? And if you have young kids yourself and are not with your child's other parent, how do you navigate them being in a new relationship or dating or having new people around your kid? Let me know in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, it's a super crazy story. Rest in peace, that young man. I definitely send my prayers to his family. Like I said earlier, Marquis did what a lot of young men try to do. But then you make a move like this, you go to prison, and what you don't understand is now you gone for all those years, it's gonna be other men around your daughter anyway. So what you was trying to prevent will still happen. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This is another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.